Okay, so welcome back to another episode of Unreal Engine 5 in 5 minutes, where I teach beginners some random things inside Unreal Engine 5 in 5 minutes or less. So today's episode, we're going to talk about procedural foliage volumes. So to enable it, you're going to go to Edit. We're going to go to Edit Preferences, type in procedural here, click that, and then what we're going to do next is go to our Quixel Bridge. Now luckily, if you download Quixel Bridge assets, some of the grass types actually already has foliage enabled. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. Okay, so I'm gonna make this bigger here, and I'm gonna go to 3D plants. We're just gonna pick something here. Let's look at maybe an house plant, and let's look at flowering because that's pretty. I'm gonna click on this, and let's just download it. Highest quality. Let's download this and add this to our project here. Okay, so once that's done downloading, go ahead and add it to your project. All right, you're gonna see it's gonna open up a new folder right here from the Megascans 3D plants, and this is going to be your folder. Now what's cool about this is like I said earlier, if I click on this, there's already spawners right here, which is cool. Now I'll teach you how to create that from scratch, but if you're downloading from Quixel Bridge, you should have this already. So that being said, let's go ahead and go back to our folder. We're going to create a new folder right here, and we'll just do this like PCF, and I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to go to foliage, and I'm going to go a procedural foliage spawner. I'm just going to leave the default name. I'm going to double click it. I'm going to press plus right here, and as you can see, all of those Quixel Megascan assets are here already, which is pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and choose one right here. I'm going to save this. We're going to create a new level, file, new level. I'm just going to go ahead and create a brand new one. I'm going to delete this one because I actually want to create a landscape. So I'm going to click on landscape right here, and I'm just going to spawn maybe a 15 by 15. You can choose whatever you want. I'm going to get out of that. All right, so the next thing is we're going to drag and drop that spawner onto your field. I'm going to press G so you can kind of see it again. And then what we'll do is actually just make this bigger. So we'll do like a 50 by 50 by 50. You can choose whatever you want. And if I go to procedural component, I'm going to resimulate. You're going to see all that stuff. It's just going to start spawning. It's pretty darn crazy how easy it is to use. And it's so beautiful too. Look at this. And just like that, you just populated your scene with a bunch of these plants. Now this works for rocks, and this works for trees as well. So if you have trees, you can do the same exact thing. Now I'm going to go to my content browser to kind of see how this works. I'm going to go to Megascans 3D plants, go to this and foliage right here. I'm going to double click this, and basically all that is just a static mesh in this little static mesh foliage right here. Now to create this, all you have to do is actually right click, same thing, foliage, and then static mesh foliage. So I'm going to create one from scratch right here. So I'm going to leave that right here. I'm going to name this one rock. And you guessed it, we're going to go back to Quixel Bridge. Now unfortunately for rocks, they don't have it automatically set up, but it's pretty easy to create these. I'm going to go to 3D assets right here, and let's look at these boulders right here is fine. I'm going to go nanite as okay. Okay, so press add right there, and that's going to add it straight to our project. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my content right here, and then we're going to go to our 3D plants, and we're going to take a look at that thing we just created right here in the foliage folder, and this is rock. I'm going to double click this rock, and now I'm going to choose the rock right here. Save that. I'm going to save this, and now we just created our volume foliage right here. So what we're going to do next is add it to that same exact one we just spawned on the actual map itself. So it's pretty easy. Go back, go to PCF, click on the spawner, and we can click plus right here, and you guessed it, we're just going to type in rock. Save, minimize. I'm going to go back to my spawner. I got it selected already. If I press G, you see that? Go back, resimulate, and now you're going to see rocks added. All right, so a couple of settings that I want to show you. If I go back to that, double click that. This is actually where you're going to be changing the settings here. You can mess around with this if you want. You can take a look at the collision, their shade and the radius, pretty much how much they're spread apart. And you can also take a look at the growth and increase that if you want. So if I want this to be max 10, I'm going to minimize this for now. I'm going to save this, minimize, and then resimulate. You're going to see that you're going to get a little bit more variation and randomness when it comes to their sizes. Now before we go, I'm going to show you one more thing that's pretty important when it comes to this. What if you have like an area where you don't want it to spawn? Well, that's pretty easy. All you have to do is create a volume to block that. So you go to volume right here. You're going to see procedural foliage blocking volume. Now what this is going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do like a 10 by 10 by 10. And let's just place it somewhere where we don't want that volume to spawn. And I'm going to go down right here. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my original foliage spawner, go back to the component, resimulate, and it's going to see it's going to get rid of that because we put a blocking volume in there, and that means that it's not going to spawn anything there. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you want to see more Unreal Engine 5 in 5 minute video, go ahead and like this video and subscribe.
So you want to make a movie in Unreal Engine 5, but you don't know how. Today is your lucky day. How to Make a Movie in Unreal Engine 5 by JSFILMZ. Out now.